BFE Tents. I am Miles Haskowitz.
It's a beautiful morning out here in Moab, Utah. A little chilly this morning, as you can see.
We're one and beautiful today here in Moab, so I cannot wait to get this going. It's going to be 9 cars. Taking the pole position was Brad Level. Then Kendall passes right here in front of the trail. It's a legit rock crawling trail. That's why the stock class only goes up a little bit. And then the other trail.
Okay.
So we're not going all the way up because we don't have time to recover. We've seen lots of flat tires, so I think strategy today is going to come into play.
Yes, exactly. And you could hear the racers last night talking, drivers going around talking about the race course, and what their strategies kind of are. But we're super excited.
Times. And there is Mr. Brad Level as we speak. Number 4621 out of Colorado Springs, Colorado tracks. This race is on adjusted time. Pam, this.
Yeah, the stock class on some of them, of course this being this class. This is like
absolutely.
Bottom, I love it. It's a fun class for everybody.
Roots.
And he actually is already off the line.
So Kendall Glines, number 40, Goodyear and Race Line wheels. So we got the first 5.
Later on, there's going to be a really cool story I found out about.
With Jeep Thrills Off-Road. He's in a Jeep Gel.
Off the line.
Justin Reese out of Riz Off-Road. PRP Raceline Max 2019, 2000 with Active Air, and a 2020 and BFG.
And there we see the 46.
It's got IFS up front, stock V8, Yoda Mafia, Yukon General
John Snell, but right now on screen you can see how rough it is right there in that area with Alex Fleming.
Alex Fleming used to be silver last year, so I love the new livery.
It definitely pops now.
Yep. John Dunn, Colorado with Trail Rig Racing. He's in a 1980 yes. And one of our
a race car here. It is a Range Rover.
King Shock. It's
only a 5.5 mile loop, and they're doing 3 of them. But you know what? It's a long 5.5 mile loop, especially in a stock class. Some of them, they've been out there doing their pre-running. More than likely, they went out there and they're probably
a Joker line out there with Britney Spears.
And then they have those bypasses.
The Believe Cam drone. Doing a great job. So we have 9 cars, and there's a great shot of Brad Level in that beautiful Bronco with his son by him riding shotgun.
Now, I was listening to a podcast with Brad, and he was talking about how
he's a legend in his own. He's very successful. Has raced everything from short course to King of the Hammers to down in Baja. And
obviously, he has a Ford Bronco there that he's racing, but he's been with Ford for quite some time.
A long time. And Ford, we start right here in the Bronco Proving Grounds, and then you go down the abyss. You pass the gate. And then another new trail wash of Old Reds. And then you go through the fast ones to the area BFE, start-finish line.
Now, Miles, the section that...
saw a little pinch rock there. I was able to ride around with a top section. We were working.
That's tight right there.
But we were having fun while we were doing it. Around that Green Day area are doing a great, great job. So thanks to Believe Cam.
It was really cool, too. It's weeks. He comes here way before to scout out the course. He comes back multiple times where they come out and actually set up the race course. So having JT Taylor.
PB, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2022 of Area BFE. It is a private park, 625 acres, over 150 miles. Moab is just west of Colorado in eastern Utah. It's this for canyoneering, hiking, rafting, biking, and especially off-road.
Well, I'm like having to, roll down the window, of course, and take my sunrise photos, but it is beautiful. We do have the 4689, yes, of Kendall Glines.
Sorry, that's a Jeep LJ. And MAO Facebook and YouTube's. MAO has an ads party and hashtag it up.
Speaking of Facebook, Miles, I'm going to get on there and let's see if we have any page. I'll try to finagle through all of the ones that we do have this showing on. But I will go on there and see
after the race. But it may be recorded, and then we'll play it back later. We'll see how it all shakes out. It's just going to be on to our amazing partners, Can-Am, Ford, the Off-Road Syndicate. They're throwing $1,000 up to the overall race radiators, VP Racing Fuels, Nitto, seats, Baja Jerky, Raceline Wheels, Off the Grid Clothing, MBRP, Yukon, HCR, Warren, AR. These with
works. It's at the 918 Grand Prix. They did have a fastest racing, and they want to know how hard can they push it. So that's when Off-Road Syndicate.
And Brad just kind of yanked on JT's shoulder and said, hey, here and Moab at Area BF Toyota, right? Mm-hmm. He always is free. Just don't resell it.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's just so
The day we were walking through or you and I were driving through the pits, and remember the young gentleman that was there who gave him the ride. So what's really cool about that young man, talking about, the thing here this weekend, he's a new racer the Albert Contreras Garris is now going to be co-driving with I'll find the gentleman's name in the Honda town.
Taking the either or around the top of Green Day. So John spot. This is a new on the top. You can see 360 around you. It's absolutely beautiful. They'll be racing up next. So I'll give you
awesome.
Perfect. So 30 at 10 a.m. to class. The Ford will have music and a bonfire to follow tonight. So be sure if you're here on site.
Last weekend as well at the
right now. So giving her a little shout out, watching her husband race.
Exactly.
So right here is a three-way. You can take this first. There's some stair steps, and if you go left, it's that Suicide Hill and it's a pinch rock. I doubt we see too many people take that. It's a.
We're trying to do that right hand, even though that's an easier section. Somebody can still break there and bottleneck it.
In the last race in the Ultra 4 Western Series, our next race for the series race will be in Prairie City SVRA in Folsom, California, May 13th and 14th. So both are on screen. That's Jacob Seeger and Tom Biddle at the top of the Green Day rundown on what that means for them. They have to run a stock OEM frame. Wheelbase must stay within 3 inches. Factory engine, but may be replaced with any available engine in the same make, year, and model. Factory transmission, 35-inch D, TTB, etc. Has to have mechanical steering. So this is the 4600 Spider Track stock class for the Beatdown at Area BFE, presented by Area BFE Tints.
I'm super excited. Earlier we were super excited to see what they look like. They're probably going to be our similar look, but I know the drivers love getting those, and we'll be doing, like you said, awards between each race. It's going to be a busy day because we're going to be running back and forth doing that.
Yeah, it'll be busy, but it'll be fun. We'll do our best to bring you the best action we can. As Tom Biddle's at that little three-way section, and he opted to try going straight and see if I can get around him, because it's I'm going to say it's probably a 400-yard little jaunt around this mountain, and it's a lot shorter going straight, but we'll see how it all.
Watching from who you're rooting for, make sure you do so. We'll, as much as possible, give you a shout out.
We need to thank USAC once again. They're our sanctioning body. They'll be running timing and scoring, race ops, safety, and tech. Lee O'Donnell is our rep through USAC. He'll be with us for the entire level coming through in the next 10 minutes or so.
So, Miles, how long do you think? Okay.
And I think the fastest lap of the day is going to be 24-ish.
When we get to the 4400s.
The UTVs.
Oh, the UTVs, that's right.
There's a lot of fast cars, but obviously
for the UTVs to get out there, because I want to see if they end up with a faster lap time than the 4400s.
But remember, you got to save the.
Push it as hard as you can because you don't want to be in anybody's dust, but you don't want to push it too hard because it is a long race. You don't want.
Brian Crofts had to switch a transmission yesterday as well.
So did Gomez.
Yeah, I just said Marcos.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry.
Yep. So there's lots of carnage in the pit. How this plays out, but it's going to be a good day of racing here in Area BFE in Moab, Utah.
Definitely, there were a lot of flats yesterday in qualifying.
Somewhere we'll see if that's the same. We'll see if the AMSOIL.
Yesterday, I was noticing whenever qualifying was over,
Slapping had two right front, or
yes.
Two right flats, both of them on the right side. It's going to be.
I keep saying that, right?
And the new look for Ultra for them for putting all this together, and it's really.
That's because I have actually been here now since they started the 9 Wikipedia. He puts hours. Nobody understands. We have these, what people have been racing in the past, or all of their sponsors, and it's awesome.
Up here, and I hated I missed that first race, but with the schedule change, everything.
When you couldn't come, they were like.
I feel you.
But no, they're really. It's one. They're definitely all family. All their daughters and their son. They're
computer work here and there, so everybody's. Like you said, teamwork makes dream work.
A few of them set up right now, but they have a nice display over here. They have all their merchandise out here, but don't forget to come over here.
You're out here wheeling, you want to go grab lunch, go to Zach's Bar and Grill right here in Moab. They've got this live screen. They'll have it there in the bar later on the day for lunch.
Yeah, so I don't think the bar is probably open right now.
Go grab you a frosty beverage and lunch and chill out for the day, or come on out to Moab proper.
Yeah, it's super, super pretty out.
Come on out and get hooked, and then start building a car.
No, and if you've drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes, yep. And if you have never raced with Ultra 4, we have a program that's the first round on us. So at any regional race, if you've never raced with Ultra 4, we waive your entry fee. And speaking about entry fees, we have lowered this. So that's what the Robinette family did last night with the appreciation dinner. Just they wanted to meet all the new drivers and just show them that we're here for them. So it's
what's
really great.
Cool. What's really cool is like the ladies and the gentlemen that are out here working on race course, working in dumping the crawfish onto the table. They're over there working, and now they're serving the drivers, their dinners. They don't have to do that. they could very easily just have everybody take care of their own plates, but they were like literally serving the meals to the people last night.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been out here since Monday helping everything set up, and that just Sherpa Motorsports and that Toyota 4Runner. It looks like Mike Faltz is tuning in. Thanks for checking us out, and hopefully you stay live all day long. So Alex Fleming making his way up. Ford contingency money, go sign up for that. And if you down on our series points, first place gets 1,000 points. Second gets 975. Third place gets 965. Fourth on down gets 5 less points, but you must complete 2/3 of the race. And yesterday, Visions National Regional Races, it looks like that's Brad Lovell coming into the Bronco Proving Grounds dragging a rear bumper. But he's still racing.com, but it looks like it's going to be around that 26-minute mark, so he's even faster than I thought he was going to be.
You're like
26.
Look
so
at
we're
him.
going to be, if Brad Levels just turned to 26. To get into race ops to see when and where they run that.
Well, and you're bringing that up.
Me, if there was nobody in Brittany's talking about.
Up on that hill, you can see the Nitto Holler. I have to say, you and I, Miles, we have the best cool.
So beautiful around here. And if you are just turning in, I'll kind of give you a rundown of the entire schedule. Park June be a festival. Do not miss that one. And then August 5th through another bucket list race, September 2nd through the 4th. For Nationals, October 26th through the 3rd. It's not a park.
Right.
It's
a destination.
It's a destination.
You call it.
This is awesome. So during Visions, we'll have Dennis Anderson. We'll have the Rock Bouncers. I mean, there's so much going on. And then Legends of the Fall at the
Jason Robinette actually plans for this because I've been told by a few people that this guy goes shooting out of the cannon. And
they had
as well. But Brad Lovell has completed
the PCI Race Radio.
Super cool. So we know he's done it. We'll get some information.
He's got a 5-minute lead. This race, they took off in 30 seconds. We got 9 cars out on course for this 4,600 Spider Track stock class. And Brad Bronco, he's been on the podium. I think he's won in the 4,600. And it's really cool to see them at the races together in the shop.
About, the kids are out working in the shop and working on the cars. A really good race car driver, in reality, something somewhere might be loose where somebody else might not know that.
You're 100% correct. Look at Shannon. The builders know the car, so they can feel everything. Yep, it fell all the way off there.
Like we were saying, there's nobody else in sight. This is where Brad needs to think in his.
No, you definitely saved the car because the attrition is going to be thick today. Ultra 4 and Rock Racing with over 35, like I said, has been on the podium every time he's raced it. So.
And he's such a humble man.
Oh, absolutely. One of the greatest.
He's a fan favorite for sure.
One of my favorite things to do is, I was like, anything new? And, he gives me a little insight on certain situations. And, yeah. Brad Lovell.
You get to know some of them more than others. You know the drivers more than family to all of these. Not just the drivers, their wives and their girlfriends. They're so welcoming, and that's.
Justin Reese coming down the Yukon launch as we speak. He started in 4th position. Winner as well. And remember, right here is where the stock does have a bypass.
3-minute lap. So he is 7.
Doing a great job. Love seeing him out here racing.
Around. Can you imagine how, you're strapped in. People that don't wear like a Hans device or an R3, but some people.
And Justin Reese is going to the AMS. Give him a hand.
It could just be, hey, look.
Drive shaft, I'm just speculating. So we'll see what's going on. Oh, they're beating on the front a little.
46-23, John Williams has taken the Joker line as well. They've already done their Joker line the one time they had to during Albert. No, that is not Albert Contreras.
John, because it's like a 5-foot drop right there. He was
launching off of it. It was super cool to watch them during.
We definitely miss you here racing and can't wait to see you at the next race, Rick.
Yes, and we do have some people chiming rating, so asking about the feed, but we will definitely. We're
JL still pushing along physically in that 2nd position. If you are just tuning, this is the 4,600 Spider Track stock class.